I think human factors is important for not just for the safety of or not only aviation or any sector. I think human factors, it's a recognition or an official way of saying there are people in the system and you have to consider the qualities of the people and the capabilities of the people. I think what's very often is happening and has happened traditionally, it has been used as just one more thing you have to do, and very often as something that's been added on towards the end of things, whereas psychologists would say it should be at the beginning of things. But my view is you shouldn't think of human factors as a factor, because you can't divide the system into separate factors and then you do a checklist and say, I've checked this factor and that factor and that factor and everything is okay. You have to understand everything, the system as a whole, where the human factors is an aspect of a system, it's not a factor in a system. We are realizing the need for change. I think many people talk about the need for change. Nobody really knows for sure how it's going to happen. I think what we've heard in several of the presentations is the recognition that the world around us is changing so fast, so we don't really know what's going on. And the challenge for us is to find a way and describe that. And I think what many people realize is that the conventional ways of understanding and describing what happens, such as using human factors to say there are factors we have to look at, are insufficient. It doesn't really match the complicatedness of the world around us and the rate of change in the world around us. And that's what we're struggling with, that we don't really know how to do it, but we realize we need to do something in all directions. It's important for the people who, like me, who supposedly, since I'm a professor, I supposedly represent the academic world. I don't really think of myself as an academic, but never mind that. But it's important for us to listen to what the industry talks about, and both their problems, but also how they understand what we have been trying to say. Because sometimes the understanding is not what we intended, but that's then our problem, because we need to be better at explaining what we mean. But also we hear from the industry, and obviously the people who come here from the industry are the people who are a little ahead in the thinking and who sort of are reflecting on what they do. And it's very interesting to hear their views and hear about their problems. And we cannot be in the places of work where they are, but they give us an idea about how complicated work actually is, and how difficult it is, and how many things that affect their daily lives and make it tricky, but also more and more they start to think about that they understand what it is to make them do well, even under very difficult circumstances.